The great thing about the one-man show, apart from the fact that it's a change of pace from before, is that it's much more intimate, it's much more informal. And my past visits to New York City, I would have played Carnegie Hall, you know, with a big orchestra, or Lincoln Center, or Radio City, or some of those vast places. This is the completely different aspect to the performance thing. And I suppose fans of my music who have seen me at a distance in Carnegie Hall will find a whole new experience now, because like, in the Rep, it's almost like they're sitting in my own drawing room, and that they've come round to my house for an evening of music and crack. So it's a very different. It's very different. It's much more intimate, much more relaxed. It's kind of appropriate that at this time I'm here as a Derry man, as a performer, as a songwriter, sort of flying the flag for Derry. The other piece of serendipity is that the play that precedes my appearance in the Rep was a Brian Friel play, Brian Friel being the great Derry playwright, set in the city and set in the Guildhall in Derry. And the set is a magnificent set. It's a recreation of the Guildhall in Derry, with the stained glass exactly replicated from the Guildhall, and various graffiti taken from the walls in Derry. My earliest introduction to the piano was actually not all that happy, and not all. It wasn't a fruitful marriage at all, because well, I hated the piano. I hated having to do scales and arpeggios and five-finger exercises. But most of all, I hated my piano teacher. And if you played a wrong note, he had a wooden rule, and he would bang you over the knuckles. Looking back on 45 years in the industry, the first thing I have is gratitude. You know, I mean, these days there are people who have careers that last 45 days. So to have been around as a lifer 45 years, it's been a great privilege.
You know, I'm very proud that we've gone full circle. I mean, I met Phil when I was singing solo, and I was only starting out, and he was established, and then I took, as I said, a break to have the kids. Somebody had to stay at home, and now it's turned full circle, and we're working together here in New York City. It's just such a buzz. It's wonderful. This was the biggest surprise of my life. Absolutely fabulous.
That started you and gone steep away.
So I've been blessed that I've worked with some wonderful talents like Van Morrison, enigmatic people. You know, always a challenge. We're in the studio working with Van Morrison, or on the road with Van. I played keyboards with Van for a while on the road, or with Sinead O'Connor. My activities with the likes of the Bay City Rollers were geared at my bank balance, whereas you know that was for the financial end of things. My work in folk music was really that was for me. That was for my own heart and soul, on my own. One of the great treats, one of the great joys of the songs I love so well, the one-man show, is that it affords me the opportunity to play songs that I love, genuinely. We start off with Danny Boy, which of course is the Derry Air, collected in my part of the world, and allows me then to not only to play some of those wonderful Irish melodies that I've loved for all of my life, like My Lagan Love, glorious tune, just up there with Danny Boy, or to sing the songs, the kind of important songs. I'm not likely to do a medley of the Bay City Rollers now in the middle of the songs I love so well, but I'd love to have the opportunity to sing songs that have a little bit more of a personal history with me, songs like The Old Man, or Scorn Not His Simplicity, or Steal Away, or of course, The Town I Love So Well.
I will always see the town.
It's a new departure for me. It's a new bit of an adventure for me, a new bit of a reinvention of Phil Coulter, I suppose, but one that I'm really looking forward to.
By the gas yard wall, and we laughed through the smoke.